right, we are here today with Rick Cannon, running for state representative for District 66 on the Democrat ballot for the primaries. Mr. Cannon, what are your best qualifications and experience for this position?
My best qualifications is I'm very active in the volunteer service. I've been a volunteer fireman for the last 37 years. I'm still volunteer today. If people don't know, we did a cost study through the Indiana Volunteer Firemen's Association. And to go full-time across the state of Indiana is going to cost the taxpayers $5 billion a year, $7 billion startup. So if we don't start taking care of our volunteer firemen, there's 880 volunteer fire departments in the state of Indiana. A lot of them don't get a lot of money from trustees and stuff. So a set of turnout gear, to put a person in turnout gear, is $15,000. That lasts 10 years. I have departments out there that's in 25, 30-year-old turnout gear. So I'm having a volunteer put his life in danger to go into your house to try to save you guys. My biggest thing is take care of these volunteers. We have to. My question is, if you dial 911 and nobody shows up, then what happens? Are we going to have to go full time? We don't have a cancer policy. The union guys do. We don't have a retirement policy. These guys do it for free. And it's getting harder and harder to get volunteers. So that's one thing I'm pushing for. The next thing is the homeless and our veterans. We got to take care of them. We have to. Working at the Jeffersonville Community Kitchen the last 8 years serving the homeless and the veterans, we see it every day. I don't play politics. I don't play what race you are or how you vote. I don't care. I'm there to serve you. And that's my big thing is people don't work together anymore. We have to get back to work together. So yeah, just been with the Volunteer Firemen's Association, that 3-time president celebrates, been doing that 25 years. A lot of volunteer work. And I'm ready to volunteer. If I volunteered here locally, I'm ready to take my volunteering to the state level.
What's your primary motivation for running for this position?
We need to get, like I said, we need to get more laws passed. My biggest thing is if I get voted in by the people of District 66, myself, I'm going to listen to the people from District 66 on how they want me to vote. Not how Rick wants to vote. They voted me in, they can vote me out. So my big thing is I want to listen to the people. My phone's on 24/7. If I don't get a hold of you, leave a message. I will call you back if I'm busy.
Would you be willing to commit to full transparency to your constituents? And what does full transparency look like to you as a state rep?
Like I said, full transparency, we have to work together. We have to work together. Both sides. Republican, Democrat, Independent. I don't care who you are. Like I said, I don't care what race you are. I'm willing to work with whoever.
Who are some of your top campaign contributors, if you can disclose?
Most of it's done by myself because I'm in a primary. When you run a primary, it's hard to really get people to commit money because they're playing for both candidates. So 90% of it's out of my pocket. I've had a few Democrats and some Republicans that have not physically came out and said, but has donated either a newspaper article for me or, the shirts and stuff. So.
Okay. Have you ever given a campaign contribution back? And if you have, why? Generally, no specifics.
Never. This is my 4th time running. Like I said, most of the time it's a lot out of my pocket. It's harder and harder and harder to actually get people to donate nowadays.
How are you going to ensure the public gets the opportunity to express their desires on a particular topic or bill? How will you communicate with those you represent?
Like I said, I need to listen to the people. The people need to call me, voice their opinion on how they want me as their representative to vote. And I'm going to go by, the consensus of what they want me to do.
What regulations, ordinances, or laws do you want to repeal, add, or alter as your first order of business, if any?
Like I said, we got to take care of our volunteer firemen. That's 100%. We got to take care of our veterans and our homeless. I would love to see more drug rehab centers and places for them to go after they get out of rehab. I mean, we work a lot, like I said, with Child Protective Services. Sunrise Recovery's been very good to me. I give them a free spot at Salisbury Celebrate to push their business because people need to know what's out there. And if we have veterans that need medication, they need to get a place to go and be able to get that taken care of. So that's my main thing, the volunteers. And Child Protective Services, doing the bike drive this year, I got to see how many kids need adopted. We have to have somewhere to do that. And I didn't know at 18 years old, if you're in a foster program, you just get kicked to the street. I did not know that. Now we need housing for kids that are 18 till they figure out what they're going to do.
What's your position on property tax relief, particularly for the elderly and disabled on a fixed income?
I'm all about my veterans and my people. I mean, I grew up, and they always told me the way I was raised to help people, and take care of your elders. And that's my thing. Yes, if they're on a fixed income, they don't need to pay these high property taxes. No, I don't believe in it. I think we need to take care of our farms. I hate seeing all of our farms going, and there's apartments or housing. And I understand this because the kids don't want to do it, but I don't know what to do. I love our farmland. We need more farmland. We need to take care of the state of Indiana.
Along those same lines, how do you feel about ever increasing property taxes for homeowners at the same time the government is awarding tax abatements for businesses and developers? What will you do at a legislative level in that area?
Like I said, I don't think it's fair. If they're not having to pay, why should we pay? It's not a two-way street. So, no, I'm for the homeowners.
What is your position on border control, and what role do you think Indiana should play in securing our borders, if any?
I think we need to secure the borders. We're getting a lot more people that's coming across, and we can see that they're helping them more than they're helping our veterans. So that's a big thing to my heart. Yes, I don't know if we need more agents out there, whatever we need to do, but there shouldn't be that many coming across every day. And I understand they're coming to America to better themselves. I'm not holding that against them, but we need to take care of our own first, and then if we have to open the border, that's fine.
Do you think our elections, particularly the machines and other internet-connected equipment, are secure, free, and equal? If not, what actions would you take to secure our elections during your term in office?
I think what we have in Clark County now is great. I've worked the polls. I know if you come in with your ID, you scan, and you're at the wrong place or you're at a wrong address, it kicks it out and tells you right where you go to vote. So it's very, very good as far as what goes through the machine and what's counted. It has to add up straight. So like I said, I've worked in there. I've seen how the operation works. There's nobody can get to ballots. Nobody can add ballots. If one's messed up, then yes, they call down to the office, and it's a whole process just to get that person to vote. So, okay. Yeah, I think our system's working very good.
Okay. Do you think you would ever support a return to paper ballots hand counted?
Probably not. I like the way the electronic machine, when you put it in, you hear the noise that they got counted. You can actually watch the screen and watch it flip to the next number. And it tells you exactly at the end of the day how many votes went through that machine. So once you know how many votes is in that machine, then if you count the ballots in that machine, you know what's going to add up.
Okay. Have you familiarized yourself with globalist agendas such as the World Economic Forum's Agenda 2030? And what would you do to preserve America First initiatives?
Never heard of that one yet since I'm new at the state level.
The recent push for solar farms threatens land that is uniquely rich for crops and livestock, with energy outputs inferior to other sources like coal, natural gas, and oil. What's your position on industrial solar farms taking thousands of acres of prime farmland out of production for decades, possibly forever, in Indiana's 9th District?
Like you said, I'm all for my farmlands, so if they're going to take farmland away to make solar farms for industrial, I'm against it. But if the farmer had solar energy to help the farmer out, then I would be for it. As long as he didn't take a lot of his land up. That would help the offset of the farmer's cost for energy.
Currently, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, funded by billions in tax dollars, was planning 11 business deals with Chinese companies worth an estimated $14.4 billion. The IEDC uses code names to shroud these companies in secrecy until deals are completed. Both the State Senate and House voted on a bill limiting foreign ownership of Hoosier land. What is your position on preventing or allowing foreign companies, especially from communist countries, from buying land here in Indiana?
I don't think they should buy land in Indiana. We need to make the American people our first priority. Built in the USA needs to stay built in the USA, not built in China and shipped over to the USA. I'm 100% for our American workers.
If Indiana finds itself in another situation of government overreach, like we experienced during the COVID pandemic, where the people have their basic rights, their basic freedoms and constitutional rights threatened, and separation of powers are not being honored, what immediate actions could you take to protect your constituents?
As far as what now?
As far as like what we experienced during the COVID pandemic was the governor told businesses to close. They mandated certain things, and people could conceive that as a violation of constitutional rights. So what is your position on that? And if that were to happen again, what could you do to prevent government overreach, if that is your opinion?
I mean, if we're in a COVID situation, we have to shut down. We're just going to get more people sick, more people out there, spreading it farther than it already is. So, I mean, I hated to see it. I work as an alarm technician. During COVID, we was what they call essential company, and we had to go out every day. So, I didn't like it, but I had to keep my job.
What's your current understanding of human trafficking in southern Indiana, and what actions, if any, would you take to combat human trafficking?
I don't believe in human trafficking. We need to stop it immediately.
Here locally, former Sheriff Jamie Knoll is accused, not found guilty, but charged with some pretty serious crimes against taxpayers, buying and selling cars and other expensive equipment for his own personal gain, using poorly supervised jail commissary funds to pay for unauthorized items, and other crimes committed by finding loopholes in government systems and processes. Do you have any ideas about what laws could be put in place to prevent similar crimes from happening again?
We need more laws set on these contracts, and especially what these, not just the sheriff's office or whoever, can do with money. We have volunteer fire departments that they're not a government entity, so they're like they can do with whatever they want with their money. We, as the taxpayer, there needs to be laws to say what they can spend that money on.
All right, we've discovered that there are laws that require government departments to complete certain fiscal reports, but they don't have any repercussions for compliance failures. Would you support legislation that adds repercussions to laws on fiscal report and budget requirements if they're not followed?
Yes. During the volunteer fire service, I know we get audited twice a year. So why is this department audited twice a year, but this department's not audited once or twice a year? Yes, I think it needs to be done. There needs to be laws.
What's been your current communication with the Clark County and 9th District chairman of your party, if any? How would you describe your relationship with the Clark County Democratic Central Committee, and do you think you have their support as a candidate?
Adam Dickey, 9th District chairman, the best you can ask for. I mean, Adam does everything anybody can ask. Ninth District Party, yes, they're all great to work with, and they all have not just me, being a primary. They can't, come out and say who they're voting for, but they always have every person's back that runs for office. They really push to try to get great candidates in office. So they're very good at checking everybody's stuff before they allow them to put their name on the ballot.
What other issues are important to you that we didn't cover?
Like I said, mostly all the stuff that I talked about with our veterans, our homeless, the child services, the volunteer firemen, and all, law enforcement. I have to take care of them guys too. Them guys, I've watched them beat a fire truck to the scene and start CPR. The biggest thing in the fire service is we're making a lot more medical runs now. So you're taking a $800 million piece of fire truck down the road on a 911 call, and we don't get paid fuel, time, or anything. So that comes out of our general budget. So if you used to do 30 runs now and you're doing 250, what's the price of diesel fuel now? We cannot continue to do this without funding. We have to have funding. We don't mind getting up in the middle of the night because grandma fell down the steps. We're there. We're there to lift whatever needs to be done, but we need to be supported back on our fuel costs and stuff.
Have you thought about what committees you would want to be on if elected?
I'll sit on any committee they want me to sit on. Like I said, I'm there to work for the people. So I don't care what committee. I'll research, do whatever I have to do to sit on that committee.
Okay. What do you have that your opponent doesn't have? What do you bring to the table?
A lot of volunteer experience. A lot of not getting paid. I'm not here for the money. I have a great job that pays me great, that are willing to work with me, if I get elected again. So it's not, the money is not what I'm here for. I'm just here, like I said, to support everybody in District 66. I volunteered locally, now I'm ready to volunteer at the state level.
As the Citizen Action Group, we believe in citizen participation at every level. How can your constituents help you achieve shared goals? What support do you need?
Mostly financial support. I'm hearing that I have a lot of both sides support if I get through the primary. It's more just physical support, more literature out there, more signage out there. Absentee ballots is going to be a big thing. I have to get people on the phone calls, so it costs to do all that.
Anything else that you want voters to know?
Like I said, just vote for me. I'd be glad to volunteer for you at the state level. Volunteered here, like I said, 37 years. At the local level, I'm ready to take it to the state level.
Okay. How can voters learn more about you, support your campaign, and get in touch with you?
Facebook page, it's Rick Cannon for District 66. And then I have a website that I don't have a lot on, but it's www.voterickcannon.com. My email's out there. It's voterickcannon@gmail.com. My phone's always on. The phone number's on there. My business cards. It's probably on everything I got out. And it is my personal phone, so call it.
All right. That's all we've got. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.